Few natural experiments in nutritional epidemiology are as instructive or as sobering as what happened to the Greenlandic Inuit across the second half of the 20th century. In a span of roughly 2 generations, the traditional diet of marine mammals, fish, and whole animal foods was progressively displaced by imported processed foods, refined flour, sugar, canned goods, vegetable oils, and the full range of modern industrial food products. The physiological consequences were not gradual or ambiguous. They were dramatic and devastating. Type 2 diabetes, essentially absent in the traditional population, became common. Obesity rates rose sharply. Metabolic syndrome, the clustering of abdominal obesity, insulin resistance, hypertension, and dyslipidemia, appeared in a population with no historical precedent for it. This is not a story unique to Greenland. The same pattern has repeated itself across indigenous and traditional populations worldwide wherever traditional diets have been rapidly replaced by Western processed food. The Cherokee, the Aboriginal Australians, the Pima of the American Southwest, urban populations in the Pacific Islands, the trajectory is strikingly consistent. A population metabolically adapted to a specific ancestral dietary pattern encounters an industrial food supply designed for palatability and shelf stability rather than nutritional integrity, and the metabolic consequences arrive within years to decades. Understanding why this happens requires understanding the concept of metabolic mismatch. A population that evolved biologically and culturally in the context of high-fat, high-protein, low-carbohydrate eating is not metabolically neutral with respect to a high-sugar, high-refined carbohydrate diet. The pancreatic insulin response, carbohydrate tolerance, and glucose regulatory mechanisms calibrated to a near-zero carbohydrate ancestral diet may be genuinely less capable of handling the glucose load of a modern Western diet than those of populations with thousands of years of agricultural carbohydrate exposure. The genetic research on Inuit fatty acid metabolism variants adds weight to this mismatch hypothesis. The biology that supported exceptional function on traditional Inuit food may be precisely the biology that makes the modern food transition particularly harmful. The warning this analysis generates is not directed only at Greenlandic or indigenous populations, though it is most acutely relevant there. The speed of dietary transition is itself a risk factor. The human body requires time to adapt to significant macronutrient ratio changes. The gut microbiome shifts, enzyme production adjusts, insulin sensitivity adapts. Moving rapidly from a stable traditional dietary pattern to a radically different one, particularly in the direction of high, refined carbohydrate intake, may generate metabolic disruption regardless of ancestral background. The positive signal in this analysis is that the damage is not inevitably permanent. Populations and individuals returning to nutrient-dense whole food patterns, even imperfect approximations of traditional diets, have demonstrated measurable metabolic recovery. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed through dietary intervention. Insulin sensitivity can be restored. The metabolic machinery, given the right inputs, retains meaningful plasticity. What Greenland's story teaches above all is the value of that which was present before the transition and the necessity of treating any dietary revolution, however well-intentioned, with the caution it deserves.